Hey guys, this is Susan Lopresti. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm very excited to have you. Today, I want to reflect on the year 2022. And to be honest with you, I don't have a particular theme in mind, but I decided that I was just going to come on very much off the cuff, like I have nothing rehearsed, nothing planned. And I just want to see what I come up with. I'd like to reflect on 2022, and 2022 has really been a great year for me. There hasn't been any one particular thing that stands out, but I'm so grateful that my life is just going very even keel. There's not a lot of highs, and yet there's not a lot of lows, but I'm grateful for all of it because it's all been good. And I really think a lot of it has to do with the way I've changed my mindset and the way I think. I used to be very, very worried about finances and relationships and wanting things to go according to a plan that I thought was a good plan. And in 2020, I lost my corporate job. And after 2 weeks of the initial shock of it, I just let it go. I let go who was responsible in initiating me being let go because, according to what I knew, I wasn't supposed to be let go. Anyway, it really doesn't matter about that. But it was just a traumatic time in my life. And so the first 2 weeks, I was kind of fearful about what was going to happen and how I would find a new job. I was getting 14 months of severance pay, so I was like, you know what, screw it. Just enjoy getting paid and not having to work for the next 14 months. And I got into a business coaching group January 2021. That was the best $3,500 that I spent in my whole entire life because I met so many wonderful women who are in the same boat as me, looking to start a business, having no idea how to do that. And we just supported each other and we learned a lot from the business coaching leader, this woman, Kathy Heller. I highly recommend that you follow her on Instagram. And if you're looking to start a business, I highly recommend that you look at Kathy Heller's coaching programs and what she's all about. She has a wonderful podcast, which is part of the reason why I was inspired to start a podcast also. It's been a wonderful experience. And what I've found about the difference between corporate America and getting into some kind of a community of like-minded women is that everyone supports everyone else. And no one is being cut down or manipulated or being held back. We're all there to uplift each and every one of us. If it wasn't for those ladies in my business coaching group, I would not be doing this podcast that I'm doing right now. To be honest with you, just the other day, I listened to probably the last episode that got published, which was about my Reiki practice. And I was just listening to it and I was thinking, oh my God, this doesn't sound professional. I sound terrible. And it's when I'm feeling like that and feeling like I'm not doing a good job and getting down on myself, this group of women that I'm surrounded with have truly helped me just to stay focused, keep plugging along, stay on track. Don't worry about what you sound like. You keep getting better, you'll get better, and your business will progress. And I really love that because I feel like my business and my destiny is in my own hands. I have the opportunity to either make this work really well or to just toss in the towel and give up. And for 2023, I am not giving up. I'm going to make my podcast and my coaching programs as successful as they can be. I don't usually go back and listen to my episodes because I cringe when I do. But the other day I was driving and I was listening to one podcast, and when it was over, the next one happened to be mine. And it was the podcast that I did on Reiki. And I was like, holy shit, I sound so bad in this episode. And I don't even sound like I know what I'm talking about. Now, meanwhile, I am a Reiki practitioner and I do Reiki on people all the time, but that podcast sounded so amateur. But you know what? I'm still proud of myself. And that's reflecting back again on 2022. I mean, I was in this business coaching group in 2021 and I went through it, and it's taking an enormous amount of time for me to implement different aspects of my business from my website. That took a long time. And quite honestly, it still looks like crap. And I do need to update it again. And then starting this podcast, it was really, really a challenge to me. I mean, getting my voice out there to editing. I do my own editing. These are things that I've had to teach myself. I don't have a coach who's a one on one coach. I did that 3-month program, and now I met a wonderful group of women, and we all help each other in our podcasting group. And we've been doing this for quite a number of months already. And we went through all kinds of platforms to host our podcasting on, to the equipment that we needed. We had guest speakers come on who were already successful in podcasting. So I know I don't sound 100% professional, and I know that a lot of it sounds very scripted because, quite honestly, a lot of it is that I've been doing. So this one is totally off the cuff, and I'm just reflecting on 2022. And overall, from a business standpoint, I'm going to say that it's been very successful only because I've moved my business forward a great deal, but I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But I'm implementing and I'm doing. So I'm grateful for that. And then what my intentions are for 2023, well, first of all, I want happiness and good health to myself and everyone that I love and everyone that I care about and everyone that they care about. And I just want that to extend outward and just keep multiplying. So basically, I want good health and happiness to everyone in this universe, quite honestly. I want mental health to improve. I want to see that as a big component. And I think that physical and mental health go hand in hand. So I want to see a shift in the way we're eating and in the way we're taking care of our bodies and our emotional health as well. And they're all connected. One is connected to the other. So, how do you want to start implementing? I would definitely say by changing our diets. And so for me in 2023, as far as the way I want my diet to look, just because I'm a health coach doesn't mean that I have a pristine diet. And it doesn't mean that I'm not challenged each and every day, because I am. So I want 2023 to be a whole foods diet, and I want less processed foods in my diet. And I think that that is a very healthy goal for me to implement. It's not unmanageable. It really isn't. And it's just a matter of eliminating processed foods, because processed foods are all chemicals and basically they're not good for our body. They're not feeding our cells. They're not helping our brain cells. They're not helping our heart. Our liver is not optimal when we're eating processed foods because our liver has to flush all these toxins out of our body. And we all know that. But this is not a health coaching session. This is about implementing what it is that I want for 2023. And so the way I want my diet to look is to eat a whole foods diet and eliminate processed foods. As far as body movement goes, I am very big into walking. I think walking is a very natural and healthy way for us to move our body. I believe that we were truly designed to walk. I was a runner for many, many years, but running has definitely had an effect on my body as I was getting older. I developed lower back pain as well as some knee issues. So I was told to hang up my running shoes and start walking instead. And what I also like about walking or moving my body in a less strenuous way is that it's not only just good for your body as far as your heart and maybe also the way you look physically. But I love the fact that moving your body also helps with other areas of your health. And in particular for me, I'm very big on brain health. I find that it's very important to maintain good brain health. Many of my family members on both sides of my family have had Alzheimer's. And so I know it's hereditary and it's very important for me to maintain good brain health. So eliminating processed foods from my diet, that's my motivation. And there's so many things connected to brain health. So let's go back to movement. In order to keep a healthy brain, we need to move our bodies daily. Now, I'm going to be 63 in February. So I am not someone who is running any longer because of back issues and knee issues, but I love to walk. And I could power walk pretty well. So that is going to be definitely one of the things I want to put into place for 2023. And luckily for me, in February, I'm going to Florida for 2 months. So the weather in Florida in February, March is definitely conducive to walking. And last year, I was in Florida for 3 months and I did a lot of walking. And that really helped because the first month in January, I really gained a lot of weight while I was there. So I needed those 2 extra months to really get it off. And I'm not doing that this year. We have a whole plan for Florida as well, as far as staying healthy and eating more at home and eating healthier foods at home. So again, that whole foods diet plan, because I really think that that is the most healthy way to go. And I'm not going to say that it will be all plant based, but I'm more pescatarian than anything else. And my partner, he eats chicken and beef. So he's an animal protein eater, and I have no judgment against that. I just prefer to limit my amount of animal protein. And I like fish. It's light and it's healthy, and I always eat it wild caught, and it's fine for me. Basically, that's my 2023 goals is to eat healthier, have movement in my body. And then, of course, I need and I practice a wonderful meditation and breath work routine as well. So I plan to continue to do that and inspire my clients to do so as well. And the other thing that I want for 2023, think I want to cook more and eat out less. And I also want to look at for 2023 my finances. I want to look at all my monthly subscriptions that I get billed for, and I want to eliminate the subscriptions that I'm really not utilizing so that I can move that money into something else that's more important for me at this time. The other thing that I'm really into in 2023 is decluttering. I have a Poshmark account and I sell my clothes on Poshmark. And I love that because it creates sustainability in my clothes because there's really nothing wrong with them except that I'm tired of wearing them. And so I'm passing them along to someone else at a really discounted rate. They're in great condition. I don't sell clothes that are not in great condition. I feel like that's a wonderful way to improve the environment. And for me, quite honestly, to make an extra stream of income as well, because I no longer have a corporate job and I'm doing a lot of different things to make extra money and to develop those multiple streams of income. And that's been working really well for me so far. I want to stay connected to my friends and family. If it can't be in person, then it's going to be on Zoom. And so I have a cousin of mine who's moving to Arizona soon. And I know that she has some mixed feelings about going. And my mom is 88. And I don't know how much my mom will be able to travel to see her, and they're very close. And I don't know how much my cousin will be traveling back east. So I want to stay connected and have my mom stay connected by Zoom. So that's another ultimate goal that I have for 2023 is to stay more connected to my family and my friends because quite honestly, community is very, very important. And then the other thing I want to focus on is my business. And that's where I'm going to ask each and every one of you who's listening to my podcast today, even though it's not 100% professional, I can get paid by the more listeners that I have. So it would be so helpful if you could share my podcast out to your friends and your family because my podcast is all about being proactive with your health. And isn't that really what we want everyone to be? Is we want to avoid getting sick. And there are simple techniques that we could begin implementing into our life to make sure that we stay on the right path to maintaining good health for many years to come. So, if you share this podcast out with your friends and your family, you may be helping them as well as helping me to spread the word. I really think that my podcast has some really valuable information that everyone could benefit from. So please feel free to share it out to everyone that you love and care about who you think could benefit from listening to this podcast. A lot of what I've talked about up until this point is health related, how we could stay healthy, because I'm all about being proactive with our health. And that's really important to me. I believe that we should live long and healthy and productive, happy lives. And so my podcast is talking about ways to do that. I'm excited for what the new year has in store for me with my health coaching programs. I am going to be hosting, and they're starting January 4th. I'm hosting Reiki and meditation healing circles. They will be on Wednesday evenings and Sunday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I have a link for that. I'll put it in my show notes. I'll be hosting a lot of free webinars as well. And I also have a YouTube channel that has a lot of my presentations on all different topics of health, heart health, brain health, gut health, just a whole host of things that you could go listen to. I'll put the link for that in my show notes as well. And I just want to close by wishing each and every one of you a very happy and healthy new year. I want whatever it is that you want in your life. And so, the way I set my intentions here today on my podcast, I'd love for you to do the same. I'm going to on Instagram and on Facebook, my Facebook page, and also my LinkedIn. I'm going to put a link to this podcast. And I would love for you to share what your intentions are when you see that link on my social media. So be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'll put it in my notes. So again, I do want to thank you for listening and for sharing these episodes out with your friends and your family because this will really help to get my message out to more people on ways to stay proactive, to stay healthy for many years to come. Thank you again. I appreciate all of you. I wish you only health and happiness and lots of love in the new year. Take good care, everyone.